Baseball action for you today, a 9-inning game, or supposedly 9-inning games. It could be mercy ruled after 7. We'll get into that as the game progresses, but you're looking at Chester Post 67 coming in with a 3-win, 7-loss league record, taking on the number 3-seeded Rutland Post 31 squad. Comes in with just a reversal of that, 7 wins, 3 losses. Zach Aquistapes gets to start today. He's going to be looking at Kirby Putnam, Ian Hoser, and David O'Neill, the top 3 batters here for Chester Post 67. And behind the plate, TJ Oliver, and he'll catch that for a strike. Now, catcher's position, especially this weekend, very thin right now for Rutland, as Ryan Carter is in Philadelphia on a baseball factory intense clinic tour that he does, hoping to enhance his future in the world of baseball. Mitch Blair is here, but he's got a very iffy leg, a very bad knee right now. And I don't know how, as far as being available, he is to play in this game. Like I said, scheduled for 9. It's very warm, very humid, very hazy. It was 88 degrees at the start of the ball game, and Aquistapes on his second pitch. That's going to be hit out to Matt Merritt. He'll pick it up from second base, flip to first, and Merritt to Bloomer, and we'll have the first out recorded here in the ball game. So I just catch up on my paper. Ian Hoser up. He's going to be the center fielder for Chester Post 67. They have 10 players on their roster. They had to wait to the last second to make sure they had enough people to play the game, and it's been a struggle for them down in the southern section of Vermont to come up with enough players. You know, Woodstock had the same problem, and then also on the flip side of that, you had the Hartford or the HI Express team couldn't find a sponsor. They didn't have enough money financially, the Legion up there, to sponsor them. They had to go and get an independent sponsor, and that's going to be a swing and a strike. Of a 1-1 count, one down, top of the first. And just for the heck of it, the standings as of this ball game have, of all people, who would have thought it, Post 49 of Fairhaven in first place with an 8-1 league record. And they've been doing a lot with pitching and defense. And the talent was always there. The new coach they've put over there's really instilled a good philosophy of everything being positive, hard work, and working as a team. And it's worked out for them well this year. They came here earlier in the season, defeated Rutland 1-0 behind the pitching of Sam Maycumber. They'll be playing Rutland for the second time later this week, and I'm thinking of heading over to Fairhaven and doing that game. That could, mathematically, Rutland was still a chance to end up in either 1 or 2 position, which there's a strike called. We've seen over the last several years being number 1 seed really not that big an advantage. Just getting to the tournament and get on a roll at the right time. Brattleboro will have here tomorrow in a doubleheader at 7-2, just a game ahead of Rutland in the last column, and I'll just miss, and I'll become a walk. So the first base runner, Hoser, gets on there with ball 4. Now O'Neill up, and that will put Ian Rebin on deck at the cleanup spot, and Rebin will also be the starting pitcher for Post 67. Now O'Neill wanted to play for Rutland Post 31 this year, and all kinds of politics involved in that. He got appealed and foul tip caught strike behind the plate by Oliver. And they had all kinds of paperwork process, and Post 67 winning out has him on their roster. And boy, what an addition he would have been for Rutland Post 31. He gets a piece of that, and that could be caught. Yeah, they'll settle down, and making the grab will be Sereno getting the start out there in left field. So Mike Sereno with the catch for the second out. Runner still stays at first. And now Rebin up. Again, quickly, I better do that defense as they have the 2 outs here. And I already mentioned Zach Aquistapes and TJ Oliver, the battery out there for Rutland. And to throw to first, runner back safe. Now Aaron Bloomer's at first base defensively. Matt Merritt starting at second. Chad Reinger shortstop. Mike Sorelli, who's been red hot at the plate, he is third base. Mike Sereno's in left, Rob Dorian in center, and Joe Rodolfi in right field. And there goes the runner to throw down, and Merritt will try to scoop, make the tag, and he will be there just ahead of the throw. And a good job by Matt Merritt. A short hop in that. You know, there was good backup there from Chad Ryan, the center, the shortstop. And you can see the sun playing peekaboo coming in and out. Again, very humid, 88 degrees at the start of this ball game, 69% humidity, it said. Got all that information off the PEGTV Channel 15 weather map. And you can go to that website, not only get your weather information, the schedules for Channel 15, 20, and 21, but you can also get the video, streamlined video and video on demand, which means you can just click on whatever program or game or event that you want to watch and watch right there on your computer. So 2 outs and a runner in scoring position And Rebin at the plate. Or in my book, what's supposed to be Rebin. Doesn't look big enough to be Rebin, but I'll have to wait and see. That'll be in the dirt, and a good stop by Oliver. Oliver, of course, is a pitcher, an outfielder, a catcher. I mean, he just does everything. He's like the high-octane utility player out there, and what a valuable asset he's become in his second season playing Legion ball for Rutland. He comes from Burton Academy down in the Manchester area, and that's going to be down to Matt Merritt. He'll adjust to the hop. He'll throw to first, and he'll strand the runner. That's going to be the top half of the first. We'll come up with Rutland batting in a scoreless ball game from St. Peter's Field. So Ian Rebin, who played for that championship Black River team, takes the mound. He'll throw a strike, and behind the plate, he's got his catcher, Dylan Davis. Kirby Putnam's at first base. Colton Howard will get the start at second. David O'Neill's at shortstop. Chris Cook, third baseman. And I'll do the post 67, and I believe boy, they're going to appeal that. I don't think he pulled the bat back. And he says, wow, generous call there on the ball. 1-1 to count. Dominic Strohmeyer is in the left field position defensively. Ian Hoser's in center field, and TJ Slade is the right fielder. Now, see foul tip indicated, and 1-2. I'll tell you, I didn't never see him pull the bat back on the bunt attempt, but he'll get the ball called, and he'll be a 1-2 count. And that breaking ball fell off the table a little bit early, and it'll roll to the backstop. And Rob Dorian, Chad Ryan, Aaron Bloomer, and Jeff Bloomer. The four due up here. Possible four due up here for Rutland. So again, post 67 got a runner to second base and unable to get him around. And I'll be fouled on the breaking ball, and he'll stay alive with the 2 strikes. Yeah, catcher's position real thin. It was one of the deeper positions this year at the start of everything for post 31. Then Bill Scholdice, who was a catcher, got injured in the tryout week, the practice week. A little chin music there for a ball. Then Mitch Blair with the knee injury. Ryan Carter's not here this whole weekend. And that puts TJ Oliver at the catcher spot. Now tomorrow with a doubleheader, that'll be a walk, and the runner will head down to first base. They do have Alex Muskoski, who has done some catching this season for him. And with Chad Ryan up and Rob Dorian at first base, I do not expect it to take very long for Coach Tony Sorelli to give him the green light and let him get that aggressive base running game going out there. The two teams had played earlier. This was the opening of the season. These two teams played down in Chester, and Rutland winning it, scoring 17 runs. Chester in a 17-8 win over Chester, and that was a close play at first base. Actually, it was a well-placed throw from the pitcher right down where the tag would take place. Putnam with the grab, and he'll go back, and he'll be safe again. So yeah, they're very aware of the style of play here that Rutland likes to create their offense by getting a good set of wheels on the base. Everybody gets green lit to go on Rutland. That'll be high for a ball. Plus, it just distracts and takes the focus away from the pitcher on the batter. Like I said, Chester coming in with a 3-7 record. Rutland 7-3. Brattleboro on the horizon in a doubleheader tomorrow. Brattleboro at 7-2, and Fairhaven with an 8-1 record. Again, what a difference their new coach has made over there at Fairhaven Post 49. And it never hurts to have a left-handed pitcher, the quality of Sam Maycumber. There goes the runner, and the throw down. He'll be safe. Kind of a high floater of a throw, and Dorian there with the stolen base at second base now with nobody down. And of course, Andrew Patch has been pitching very well for Fairhaven. I mean, the Colty's been pitching very well. So I mean, they've got a deep staff, but they got the fundamental things down: the base running, the execution of the bunt to move the runner along, a little small ball. They got some power when they need it. So a very formidable Fairhaven squad. I was very impressed with their win here. Their 1-0 win over Rutland here. And that curveball will be called a strike, and we'll go to a 2-2 count now. There's Chad Ryan with good speed himself at the plate. Last time we saw Chad Ryan here, he was a winning pitcher. Again, a very versatile player, shortstop, pitcher, can do the DH if he needs to. It was his infield hit against Essex that really put Rutland in a position to rally, tie the game, and eventually win it in 9 innings. And he pitched against South Royalton and got the win. And he will take strike 3 on the outside corner with a fastball for the first out. Got him looking, and Nothing fancy there, just threw the fastball and getting those 2 strikes. Get the bat on his shoulder. And Aaron Bloomer up the first baseman. Bloomer and Bloomer, as Jeff Bloomer, the on-deck hitter, is the DH for Mike Serino today for Coach Tony Sorelli. And right now, Ian Rebin mixing his pitches up very well, even though we're very early in the contest. But getting scheduled for 9 innings, so just settle in, get something cold to drink, turn the air conditioner on, crank the volume up, and watch Channel 15 bring you American Legion baseball action. And that's going up the ladder, chasing one right there. Pitcher's best friend, and it'll be 0-2 in the count. Getting the game down in Chester, that 17-8 win. Actually, it was very close to the middle innings of that game. Rebin, a quality pitcher, too, so I mean, there's going to be no cakewalk here today. Plus, being the first game of the year and having a very limited amount of players available, it probably took Chester a lot longer to gel and form and become a team and understand their roles out there than it did Rutland, who had a lot of veteran players return. And other than the catcher position, very steep at all the positions. As to third base, the throw, and he will do. Oh, nice job of scooping it out over at first. That'll go from Chris Cook to Kirby Putnam, and they'll have the out. For the second out of the bottom of the first, the runner does move up to third base. And Rob Dorian. Yeah, first of all, that was a nice scoop over there at the corner by Cook, and then Putnam with the able to dig out the short throw and keeps it a scoreless ball game right now. Now Jeff Bloomer, the DH, like I said, he's hitting for the left fielder Mike Serino. Yeah, it's going to be a ball. And Pace, the pitcher, will be doing his own batting today. Remember, he had that deltoid injury that prevented him from being able to bat for, I think it was 3 games, could be 4 games, but he says that's all set. He's healed up. He's good to go, and he'll have his big bat in the lineup. That's a strike call of a 1-1 count to the number 4 hitter in the order. Rob Dorian got on via the walk, stole second base, moved to third on that ground out. And Ian Rebin trying to work his way out of a little pickle here in his first inning, and that's going to be hit to shortstop. O'Neill will charge, scoop, fire, and get him. So each team will strand a runner in scoring position. We'll go to the second, scoreless on Munger Vision. Now I'll have to check. I have TJ Slade as the batter at the plate, and I'm not sure if that's what Mr. Shortle, Steve Shortle, the PA announcer, said, but of course, it was, like I said, 2 minutes before the first pitch. They were still working on putting a roster together for Chester Post 67, and it's not unusual to get all the way back out to center field, and they completely revamped the whole thing. Oh, what a fastball. I'd like to see him do more of that, just until they can actually catch up to his fastball, just rear back, use that 6'5" frame of his, and fire away. 0-2 the count to what could be TJ Slade at the plate. And that's cranked. That's cranked. Serino's going to chase that down off the wall. It's going to be at least a double. He left that one up in the strike zone, and he will have a runner at second base. Nobody out, and that's Ian Rebin. I didn't think that had the build of Slade, so they have changed the lineup. Oh, I hate that when they do that, more than you know. I might as well not gotten the lineup, because now TJ Slade's up now. Excuse me, I'm just having to scribble over everything here. Yeah, so it's top of the second, nobody out, runner at second base, and I'll tell you, if they don't do something creative with their offense now, this is the time and place to get the lead in. You know, like I said, Rebin a good pitch here. If you want to small ball him over, have him at third base with 1 down. Oh, good pitch right there for a strike. Yeah, so I don't know who actually made the last out of the first inning, because I had it as Rebin and it wasn't. And I said I just stood there and got the lineup from the guy and walked to center field, and they changed the whole thing. They were unprepared to begin with at the start of the game. That is a wild pitch, and that'll allow the runner to go to third base, and that gives the coach back a lot more options now. He doesn't have to worry about advancing the runner over to third base and wasting an out. So Rebin will be at third base, Slade at the plate, and Pace, quite a little pickle here. He'll remain pitching from the stretch. A lot of pitchers at this point will just go back to the full windup, and I think if they appeal that, they'll get the strike call. See if they look around, and 2-2 the count. I didn't get the names of the umpires before the start of the ballgame. They got the PA system cranked way down today. They must be shy today up there. And that'll be high for a ball. So he'll go to a full count now. He's already walked one batter. Hosier walked back in the first inning. And a Quistapase. Whoa. Well, I'm not quite sure where he missed with that. But he didn't get the home cooking call right there. And that'll be ball 4. And that'll put runners at the corners. And Coach Sorelli will come out. And this every game is important. It's a short season to begin with, but you're right down in the crunch part of your schedule. Like I said, they have today's game doubleheader with Brattleboro tomorrow. Then they go to Fairhaven and play the top-seeded Fairhaven squad. So games you're supposed to win. Don't leave your opponent hanging around. Let them think they can do something with it. Take them out early. Don't give them a break. And right now they're having a chat, probably a little strategy talk. First and third, a lot of times you'll see them send the runners on a steal from first to second, try to draw that throw. And again, that last pitch, very questionable ball 4. All I know is that whether it was or wasn't, it was a tough pitch to stay there and watch with 2 strikes. So Coach Sorelli will dismiss his infielders and continue to talk to his battery of Oliver and Quistapase, and a lengthy meeting, and the umpire will start to make the move, and Coach Sorelli head back to the dugout. They completely changed the order. Or else Mr. Shortle's wrong, one or the other, which I doubt he is. So Howard up now. And I can only guess who's on deck. So Colton Howard up there. Getting great opportunity. First and third, nobody down. In the top of the second, post 67 and a runner at second base with 2 down in the first, unable to score him, and they had the runner going, and that's fouled off the fist back into the screen, and that will send Slade back to first base. Yeah, I'm just trying. I can't begin to save my book now. It's such a mess. And I know it's irrelevant what I do and say up here, but you know how peeved that makes me to stand there and wait. First of all, I had to wait 20 minutes to get an order just before the first pitch, which I don't understand being unprepared like that. Have the coach fill out the official scorecard, hand it to me, then turn around and it's completely mixed and match and useless. They got him at first base. Oh, the last time I saw that work, Steve Shortle was the pitcher against Fairhaven. And that was many years ago, and that fake to third and throw to first, and he got him. Oh, when it works, you just can't believe it works. Slade picked off, took too big a lead, and a Quistapase prior to strike over to Bloomer, and that's a big out right there. It's the first out of the inning, but now he can just he's looking right at the man at third base, Rebin, being a right-handed pitcher pitching from the stretch. He doesn't have to get preoccupied with the runner at first. They don't have to worry about the strategy of throwing or not throwing down to second on a steal. And that'll be fouled out of play toward Otter Creek. And a 2-2 count. Yeah, so Rebin led this inning off with a double. Slade walked. He just got picked off. Howard at the plate. Don't know who's on deck. It's a coin flip. Oh, man, how he's missing. If he can't get that call all day, it's going to be a long afternoon for Quistapase, but that's a couple of different batters now that look like they've struck out. Very, very flexible strike zone right now. 3-2 count and the pitch. He'll walk him. That's going to be back-to-back walks. And both of them could have been strikeouts. And somehow Chris Cook up now. So again, first and third, the one out, double plays in order, and I have done all but the Granville game. But the games I've done, post 31s, at least executed one double play. They had one game where they had 3 double plays in one game, but they would love a double play right here to end the inning. Now see, that breaking ball got the call. Then he goes fastball outside corner, so mixing his pitches up very nicely here. TJ Oliver, a pitcher himself, doing the catching today, so probably right on the same wavelength as Equistapace as far as what he wants to call for the pitches here. Just looking for the second out on the strikeout. He will get him. Foul tip caught by Oliver. Went with a high fastball, and he will get his first strikeout of the ball game, second out of the inning. And I have to wait for the PA announcer to tell me who's up. And Dylan Davis now up. I should have just waited till the first pitch and waited for the PA announcer to catch up to him every game. 2 down, 2 on. And remember, they've had a runner over at third base with nobody out. Now they got a runner at third base with 2 down. This would be quite the momentum builder going in the bottom of the second offensively if they can get out of this. That's going to be hit to Dorian, and he will come in, make the catch, and he'll strand a runner at third with nobody down. They do not bring him in. We'll stay scoreless going in the bottom of the second from St. Peter's Field, American Legion baseball action. And who has been one of the more consistent, better hitters all season long up there for Rutland, TJ Oliver. And that's going to be snagged by Rebin. Nice job by the catcher with the throw, and he'll get him at first base. Really snagged a hard line drive up the middle. Gets over to Putnam. If he's still playing first base, he'll make the grab, and it'll be 1 down here on that 1-3 ground out. Now Mike Sorelli, whose bat has really come to life here in the last 3 or 4 ball games at the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Equistapace on deck. So far in 2 at-bats, Chester has had the opportunity to get on top here in the scoreboard and unable to get that timely hit or just a base hit when they need it. And we'll stay scoreless going in the bottom of the second. And Sorelli awaits Rebin's offering, and that's going to be foul sharply down the first baseline for quickly an 0-2 count. Now Sorelli playing third base today. He's also done some pitching. I know in the past he's been to shortstop position. I think actually, yeah, I did a game where he did shortstop here. Again, a very versatile player. Great instincts. And Ian Rebin will get him. That's a strike 3 drop. They're going to throw down to first, and they'll get him. So Rebin will use that breaking ball very effectively. Will get his second strikeout of the ball game. He struck Chad Ryan out back in the first. Now Zach Equistapace up, and Rebin looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Of course, like I say, Equistapace with that left shoulder injury, all healed up now, has been swinging the bat like the old Zach. Ability to hit it right out of the park, and the first time these 2 teams met, he did blast a home run against Chester. And Rebin, well, if he can get that call below the knee all day, he'll be in business. That's going to be strike 1. And I'm going to have to wait and see if they're going to appeal and check down the first base. I'm not sure if he really held up or not. And the board has it a 1-1 count right now. And they do not ask the first base umpire his opinion on that, so I'll stay at a 1-1 count. Rebin catching and firing, and it'll be strike 2 on a breaking ball. Nice bend on it from Ian Rebin. And he faced 4 batters in the first inning. That'll be ball 4. He went back to, or that'll be a ball, 2-2, as he went back to the breaking ball, and that one dipped outside too quick. Rodolfi on deck, and then Matt Merritt batting that number 9 spot. Rutland had Rob Dorian over at first base in the first inning and couldn't bring him in. Chester had a runner at third base with nobody down on top of the second and couldn't bring him in. And Chester in that first inning also stranded a runner at second base. And all of a sudden, he'll work it all the way back to a full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. To post 31, pitcher Zach Equistapace batting in the number 7 spot in the order. And Ian Rebin from Black River will throw ball 4, and he will not, at this point, look like he's going to have a 1-2-3 inning. That'll be the second walk of the ball game. He walked Rob Dorian, the first batter he faced of the ball game. Rodolfi, the right fielder today. And again, Rodolfi extremely valuable as far as being able to plug him in anywhere on the field. Pitched very well this season. His first year Legion baseball, he's played left and right field. He's DH this season, and he'll jump back from that pitch, and that didn't miss by much. And Equistapace not being held on over at first base. Kirby Putnam over there defensively, and big swing and a miss on the fastball, and he'll get it by him. Like I said, Rebin, a quality pitcher. And in the past, Chester Post 67's had tremendous support and good teams. This year I can't understand why, but they struggled putting together enough players to put together a team. And that pitch just missed for ball 2. And I haven't told you yet. I got to bring it up. It's going to be ball 3. The website for Channel 15 is www.pegtv.com. You can click on, follow the instructions on that video on demand, and watch programming from Channel 15, Channel 20, and Channel 21 right there on your computer. You can also just turn on the TV and watch it the old-fashioned way. And I'll be high for a ball. So a good eye for Rodolfi. So after getting a ground out to the pitcher and then a strikeout, he's issued back-to-back walks, and I'll bring up Matt Merritt. Yeah, Matt Merritt, he's either hit in the number 8 or number 9 spot in the order all season, and he's come through with some big clutch hits this season. And he'll duck down all the way to that breaking ball. Then that means the top of the order on deck, and Rob Dorian, if Merritt can extend it here. Again, Serino, the left fielder, is being hit for with the DH, Jeff Bloomer. And that's to center field, and that looks like it's going to be playable, and it certainly will be caught, and that'll be the third out, as that will retire the side. And again, scoring opportunity goes by the wayside. So each team through the first 2 innings just can't find the hit when they need it, and will stay scoreless going into the third. Back around to the top of the order in the third inning for Chester. Kirby Putnam up for the second time. He grounded out to the second baseman, Matt Merritt, back in the first inning. And here's a Quista base with the 1 strikeout in the ballgame so far. He's also picked a runner off. And tell you one thing, and I'm not criticizing anybody, but he's been squeezed on the strike zone on some pitches here in the early going of the ball game. That one you can't argue with. That's right down the heart of the plate, split the plate actually, and it'll be caught by T.J. Oliver, the catcher, for strike 1. Defensively, Aaron Bloomer at first base, Matt Merritt at second, Chad Reinger shortstop, Mike Srelly's at third. That's going to be fouled, and Bloomer will watch it go out of play. Yep. That'll just be a strike on a foul ball. The outfield has Mike Serino, Rob Dorian, and Joe Rodolfi. T.J. Oliver doing the catching, and of course Zach Aquistapase on the mound. Second meeting of the year between Chester and Rutland. And it's going to be strikeout number 2. So both the strikeouts coming in these last 2 innings. And I'll have to wait for the announcements. He was up. Yeah, and it is Ian Hoser up. He walked back in the first inning. Again, we're scheduled for 9. It looks like Mother Nature will supposed to have thunder showers, but not until very late in the afternoon, like 6, 7 o'clock. So hopefully that will hold out. We'll be able to get the ball game in, and the Mercy Rule will take place like this, since it's a 9-inning game. The team who is, you have to be ahead by 10 or more runs. The team who is behind has to have 7 full innings of at-bats. And at the end of that, if you're still behind by 10, that's the ball game. Hopefully that won't come into play. We'll be able to get the all 9 innings in, as the baseball season in Vermont always way too short. And like I said, a lot of games coming up here for Post 31 in a very short space of time. They've been away for 11 days on the road. And that pitch would miss outside for a ball. Tomorrow, they tape delayed, but I'll be here if weather permits it. I'll have the doubleheader against Brattleboro. They'll have Woodstock here Tuesday. I'll be here for that unless it's raining. It gets rained out. And, of course, really thinking about heading over to Fairhaven to do that game between Fairhaven and Rutland. And that's going to be a fair ball, a little nubber, and Bloomer will pick it up, and Aaron Bloomer will step on the bag for the unassisted put-out. So 2 down here for Aquistapase as he looks at, I believe, Dave O'Neill. And it is O'Neill, so I don't know. There's change in the roster, lineup batting order had to happen in the next spot. So O'Neill, who flied out to Mike Serino, up there in Aquistapase, flirting with a 1-2-3 inning here. Leaving with a lot of games coming up in a very short period of time. They would love to see Zach Aquistapase be able to go as many innings, 7 or more here. I think he said his next slated start is next Saturday against Windsor. And that's going to be a base hit. Oh, he went down. It was a good pitch. It was low and outside. He went down and got it. I say O'Neill's like Mr. Baseball of the southern Vermont area. He can play short, he can play third, play second, he can pitch. I'm sure he could catch if he had to. He can hit any place in the order. And that is the change that screwed me up. Zach Smith was the only reserve they had. He wasn't even in the original order, and now he got plugged in at the cleanup spot. He grounded out to second base his first time. That throw over late, runner back safe, and don't forget Quista Pace has already picked one base runner off today. Boy, he picked a great pitch to run on. O'Neill had a tremendous jump. I don't know if they would ever throw him out to begin with, but he picked a wild pitch to go on, made it a moot point as he'll end up at second base now. So for the third inning in a row, Chester will have a runner in scoring position. Zach Smith. And if he gets a single out of this deal, there are some very strong arms out on the outfield for post 31. Actually, ended up being their most, I don't say their most deepest, but one of their deepest positions where the outfield, they're blessed with some very good outfielders, very good arms, good speed, be able to cover the gaps. Like I said, the catcher's position just blew up. Scholdice got hurt in the preseason. Mitch Blair's injured right now. TJ Oliver's done a very good job behind the plate, but he's valuable in other areas on the field. It's pushed Ryan Carter when he's here from first base or right field behind the plate, and kind of hurts him on the mound. Muskowski's done some catching. Oh man, again, just missing. So first and second after two down, both pitchers able to get the first 2 outs very quickly here in the third, and then get in trouble after the 2 outs. Yeah, now Ian Rebin up. And he had a double his last time up to the left center field gap. That's a strike called, and ball doesn't get far enough away for any damage to be done by. See how quickly TJ Oliver jumped on it. And of course, the way Ryan Carter's dad, Glenn, was talking, he'll be away for the 19th to 21st. So I do not believe they'll be available for the. And he's going to throw in a double steal, and that base was stolen. That ball was even out of the hand of Quista Pace, and O'Neill was halfway down to third base. So second and third now. With 2 down, and Rebin looking to deliver that timely hit that's been missing by both teams. Off the fist and foul down the first baseline. And that 1-2 count, and he just threw that breaking ball. Wonder if he's going to go up and elevate, up on the strike zone, and elevate a fastball here. Rebin, very good athlete. Quista Pace with the sign from the stretch. Looks in to get the sign, and he's going to hit the target. No, he went back with the breaking ball. That's a little number. Matt Merritt hardly has to move. He'll make the grab, and for the third inning in a row, Chester will strand at least one, this time 2 runners in scoring position, and will stay scoreless going into the bottom of the third. O'Neill handle that hot shot, and he'll get him. Boy, you couldn't hit the ball much harder than that. And O'Neill, with great hands, will make the stab on Rob Dorian and get him out at first base. So very quickly, a 6-3 ground out. Chad Ryan up. He took strike 3 looking back in the first inning. He actually became the first strikeout victim for Ian Rebin. He's only got 2. He got Ryan looking in the first and Sorelli swinging in the second. Aaron Bloomer on deck, and that pitch will be too high for a ball. We're in the third, and like I said, it's 4 runners stranded in scoring position for post 67, 5 overall in the ball game. And post 31 just as guilty, leaving people on base. Mathematically, take a lot of things to happen, but Chester's not out of this thing mathematically, but you got to get a winning streak started somewhere, and there's nobody locked into the playoffs right now. Like I said, when I go down through that, even all the way down to Windsor, they have Windsor at 7-6, Hartford at 6-5, Bennington 8-5, Bellows Falls 7-4, Rutland 7-3, Brattleboro 7-2, Fairhaven 8-1. I mean, I haven't seen that much parity in the Southern League in many years. Usually it's just a 3 or 4 horse race, but it's spread out this year. 3 balls with 1 strike, and Ian Rebben with the 1 out. And that'll be low and outside. That's 3 walks in the last 2 innings, 4 for the ball game. And that doesn't help you out on a very hot, humid day like that, giving them an extra out right here. So Aaron Bloomer up. He grounded out to the third baseman, Chris Cook, his only time up. And it was a nice play by Cook, remember. Short hop the ball and then make the throw to first. And Zach Smith is the center fielder, replacing Hoser, who was slotted to be the starter and never did make the appearance. And that's another ball right there for 1 ball, no strike count. And Chad Ryan at first base with tremendous speed, always a threat to go, and everybody gets the green light with Coach Sorelli. And that's fouled off. Runner was going, and that's going to be reached out and fouled off by Bloomer. Aaron Bloomer at the plate. Jeff Bloomer due up next. And Chester and Rutland looking for the game's first run here. And tomorrow we'll have Brattleboro here. Their game up in the last column on Rutland right now at 7-2. Rutland at 7-3 in league play. See Rebben step off the rubber. The runner will scamper back to first. And he is being held on by Kirby Putnam over there defensively for Chester. It was 88 degrees at the start of the ball game. And that humidity. This is summertime baseball in Vermont. But the field, I got to tell you, what a job they do with the field. It just looks absolutely beautiful. And the pitch on the inside below the knee corner, and he'll get the call. He's been getting that consistently called for him. And I'll make it a 2-2 count. No, Johnny Chaffee, Mickey Kelly, John Kelly, the whole grounds crew. This field looks tremendous right now. The runner goes, ball's going to be lifted up, and Smith, the center fielder, will back up and misplay it. And the runner's got to go back, and he'll fall down, and they'll get him at second base. Yeah. Oh, what a crazy play that was. It was hit to the center fielder who had came in to back up the throw on the steal attempt to second. He tried to backpedal and make the grab. It went off the top of his glove. The ball did, rolled behind him. Chad Ryan had turned around because the ball was popped up. He went to re-tag first, slipped, trying to go back to second after the ball was dropped, and ends up being thrown out at second base. So after all the dust settles, it's 2 down and a runner at first, and Bloomer and Jeff Bloomer at the plate will swing and miss for strike 1. So a crazy play there for the second out of the inning. And you really can't fault Chad Ryan on that. I mean, he was attempting to make the steal. He saw the ball popped up, looked to be playable. He was going back to the bag at first. The ball was actually misplayed by the center fielder, Zach Smith. And then when Ryan turned to try to go back to second base, he literally just fell down between bases. Quite a workout he had going between first and second, a couple trips there. And that's going to be out of play. That'll be a foul ball out of play. And Ian Hoser taking a look at it. That'll send Aaron Bloomer back to first base. That's going to be 2 strikes now on Jeff Bloomer. And if Jeff Bloomer can get a hit here to the catcher, TJ Oliver, the on-deck hitter. And that will get TJ Oliver up, as that's going to be a line drive single over the head of the second baseman. They'll throw the cutoff to O'Neill and first and second now. So that crazy play with Chad Ryan looms even bigger after that single. So 2 Bloomers on. Aaron's at second, Jeff's at first. And TJ Oliver up, he grounded out to the pitcher Ian Rebben, who, remember that hard shot in the middle and Rebben stabbed it? Made the nice play. Like I said, TJ Oliver's been one of the more consistent hitters all season long for Post 31, and see if he can get the job done here with 2 down, 2 on, bottom of the third scoreless, and Post 31 trying to do something about that right now. And Ian Rebben came in high and tight with a fastball and goes off the fist back out of play for strike 1. Sorelli on deck. Got a little different order today. Some people missing for Post 31. Ryan Carter, like I said, is in Philadelphia. Don't think we'll see Ryan all weekend. Oh, he came inside of the fastball, jammed him. Then he came back with the breaking ball right there and had him out in front of it. And quickly he's got an 0-2 count. And I'll tell you, I mean, there's a couple pitches I think are just completely underused in high school ball or Legion ball. One's a slider, the other is a changeup. You don't see any pitcher with a real pure changeup. And this looks like Smith is going to go back, turned his back on the ball, and that's going to drive in both runs as T.J. Oliver, again, there, like I said, he's been one of the hotter hitters all season long, and he will have 2 RBIs on that double. So Bloomer and Bloomer come in to score, and Oliver ends up at second base as he got it in the left center field gap, and now Sorelli up. He struck out swinging back in the second inning, and he's got a runner down at second, 2 down. 2-0 Rutland. We're in the bottom of the third. Rutland looking for the season sweep over Chester. They defeated them 17-8 down in Chester. And took them a while, but they get the first runs of the ball game here in the bottom of the third. High fastball, too high. That'll be a ball 1 to Sorelli. Quista-Pace awaits on deck. After a long wait, the pitch will be too high for a ball. So 2-0 to count. And like I said, he has had 4 walks, 3 in the last 2 innings. And going all the way back to the first, he's had 4 for the ball game. Oh, and my goodness, he'll call that a strike. That's a very rectangular shaped strike zone right now. And Sorelli on the last second decided to swing. It'll be 2-2 the count now. I hate to sound like a hometowner, but I'm lined up pretty decent with home base. So Rebin looking to get out of this inning and keep the damage to just the 2 runs right now. And that will allow runner T.J. Oliver to get to third base. The catcher having a little problem right now locating the ball. He'll pick it up, but on that wild pitch, T.J. Oliver will scamper down to third base. Yeah, Oliver and Sorelli hitting back-to-back in the order, both 2 of the hotter hitters for post 31. And done a good job of balancing out the lineup all season long as far as the batting order goes. That is lifted and appears to be playable, and Dave O'Neill says he's got it, and Dave has it. That's the third out, but Rutland will break through, score 2 runs, will have the 2-0 lead going into the top of the 4th over Chester. Pitch, and that's got a chance to drop in, and it's going to hit the gap, and it's going to roll through. Dorian will pick it up, and they're going to have a play at second base. Here comes the throw, and it'll be to the shortstop side of the bag, and that'll be a leadoff double here for Chester in the 4th inning. And that's just what they needed after getting up those 2 runs. Get this 4th inning off and going in a positive way. Colton Howard up. He walked. He got stranded at first back in the 2nd inning. And Zach Quista-Pace with a couple strikeouts in the ballgame. He's picked a runner off, and that's going to be a little nubber. And Quista-Pace will make the tag, and he's going to throw to third, and he'll be safe. And he had his head in the ballgame, and they'll bring up Chris Cook now. He struck out back in the 2nd. He was the first Chester player to strike out against Quista-Pace. Again, Chester's had runners in scoring position in all 4 innings, and yet they haven't been able to get a run in. Oh, just great pitch right there. Had velocity, had location. His mechanics looked flawless on that. Dylan Davis, the on-deck batter, then top of the order. And right there, just overpowered him again. I like that. Just until you can show me different, just wiggle that number 1 finger as a catcher and throw that fastball. Got him at the knee, strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the ball game, and again with 2 strikes, I don't know how batters nowadays can watch, not be defensive with 2 strikes. That went right down the heart of the plate for strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Quista-Pace. Dylan Davis, he flied out to Rob Dorian, his only at bat. That's 2 down now, and that runner over at third base. So Chester trying to avoid stranding their 5th runner in scoring position in 4 innings. And good pitch, snapped it hard right there for strike 1. Aaron Bloomer is playing first base defensively. Matt Merritt's at 2nd. Chad Ryan's at short. Mike Sorelli is your 3rd baseman. Rodolfi, Dorian, and Sereno the outfield. TJ Oliver, the catcher, and of course Quistapes on the mound. You're watching Channel 15 Public Access Sports. Munger Vision bringing you Legion Baseball again from beautiful St. Peter's Field. That was high, and he couldn't get him to play with it, and they'll go to a 2-1 count. Again, future games coming up on tape delay. You'll be able to watch Brattleboro, the doubleheader, possibly the Fairhaven away game, Woodstock. Windsor's a doubleheader next weekend, and then they close out the season against Bellows Falls, and then the playoffs start. And right now, they're looking to put themselves in a good, secure position in one of those top 4 spots. So the 2-2 count, 2 down, runner at third. The pitch on the way from Quistapes popped up, and boy, nice job by Sorelli in communications. And oh, a little snow cone out there caught by Sereno, but it was the talking. I could hear Sereno talking to Sorelli, and that's the 3rd out. And Chester again will strand yet another runner in scoring position, and going into the bottom of the 4th, Rutland with that 2-0 lead. He's up, but the more important thing, see that squirrel? He's daring him to hit him. See him run down the fence? Not only is it baseball you get to come and watch at St. Peter's Field, but wildlife. I think squirrels qualify as wildlife. Well, actually, with a lot of rednecks in Vermont, it's lucky somebody doesn't pick him off walking on top of the fence during the game. That's lifted and looks to be playable, and it'll be caught by Hoser out in right field. That's the 1st out of the bottom of the 4th. On that pop out to right field. Rebin still out there pitching. And Rodolfi up. Rodolfi walked, got stranded at first, back in the 2nd. Matt Merritt on deck. Yeah, and Rebin's, like I said, he's pitched very well out there. Got a couple strikeouts. The walks, well, they've kind of hurt him. Especially that last inning, he's got 4 walks for the ball game. And Rodolfi looked like he was going to drop a bunt down the 3rd baseline. We'll get the strike called and be down in the count 0-1. So Jim O'Neill, the Black River coach, prior to the start of the ball game. And again, Black River with their first state championship in baseball this year. That's why I can't understand from that area all the baseball talent, them struggling to put together a Legion team. And so Rebin with that 1 out, it's got an 0-2 count on Rodolfi. Now Rodolfi's name was thrown around as being one of the starting pitchers tomorrow. But that's always a big secret until the ball game also. And he's pitched very well this year for post 31. He'll go to the opposite field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting. Pitch was low on the outside corner. Rodolfi just went with it. Of course, Joe with a very successful high school soccer career, ice hockey career, and obviously baseball. Covered him when he had the junior and senior Babe Ruth championship games, and he pitched. Matt Merritt flied out to the center fielder, Zach Smith, and that was his only at bat. And again, everybody gets the green light to go on the bases. Rodolfi will not be going on his first pitch, and that's a pitcher's pitch right there. A beautiful spot, that outside corner. So Matt Merritt with a strike on him will dig it in. The second baseman for Rutland batting in that number 9 spot. And this could become a double play. There's the throw to O'Neill, and yeah, he'll wisely just make the grab and hold on to the ball and not compound things by throwing it away. So they'll get the lead runner out on the force out. And it's 2 outs now. Merritt will be at first base on a fielder's choice. And top of the order, Rob Dorian up. He's walked and grounded out to Dave O'Neill at shortstop. And they had a bat in play, and TJ Oliver will come out and pick it up. And that's who's missing today. I don't see the bat girl, Natasha McPhee. She is not here, and you can see how important her role is. That would have never happened if she was here. And that one will miss inside for a ball. Broke around the plate, never nicked the corner, and there'll be 1 ball, no strike. 2 outs, 2-0 Rutland. Bottom of the 4th, scheduled for 9. Ian Rebin matched up here with Zach Aquistapes. See right there, same pitch. He just moved it in about 6 inches and got the strike looking. If Dorian gets on, Chad Ryan is on deck. He'll be the next batter up for post 31. Runner is being held on defensively over at first base. That'll be gulped foul for strike 2. So 1 and 2, and again, Dorian, one of your better 2-strike hitters, understands the concept of protecting the plate with 2 strikes. Again, Rutland trying to improve upon that 7-3 league record And that curveball will drop off a little early, and I'll send Matt Merritt back to first base to re-tag. Very sparse crowd here today. Got to get some people at these games. They'll be high for a ball. You got a team that's a legitimate contender to win the Southern Vermont section of this whole Legion thing, and you got to get some people here and watch it in person. Watch it on channel 15 or on the computer, but you should get here and watch it in person also. Merritt off, foul tip caught, strike 3. That's the inning, and we'll stay 2-0 going into the 5th. Rutland over Chester. Ooh. Well, that will become the first hit batter, but I guess if you're going to get hit with a ball, that's the place to get hit. In me, that'd be right where my brains were, but that was right in his butt. So that'll become 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, 3 hits, and 1 hit batter. That's the line on Equistapace. He wanted to start him off with a breaking ball, and it just didn't break. So Kirby Putnam will head on down to first base. He doesn't want anybody to look at that, make sure he's okay. They're trying to small ball him over. They'll throw down to first, and nice job of going up and getting it by Bloomer. TJ Oliver snapped one off high down to first, a little bit high, and they're looking to move that Hoser up, and they're looking to bunt him over. Hoser is walked and then grounded out to Aaron Bloomer at first base. Again, that's not a bad idea at the midway point of the ball game. And you put that play on where the second baseman and shortstop charge, and the Equistapace throws over to first, trying to get the runner who's trying to commit a little bit early to get the good start down to second. But you're only down 2 runs. Really nothing wrong with trying to bunt the run over and pick up a run at a time here. Yeah, Chester with 5 runners stranded in scoring position, 6 runners overall in the ball game. They've had a runner in scoring position every inning so far, all the first 4 innings. And Equistapace with that 1-1 count. And that's going to be a foul ball. He got around, pulled it, and that's going to be a foul ball down the first baseline. So it'll be strike 2 now in the count. Again, you're looking at Hoser, then David O'Neill, and then Zach Smith due up here for Chester Post 67. Looking for their 4th win of the year. Rutland looking to get their 8th win in league play. And, one thing I think they aren't doing is overlooking this game, looking at that doubleheader tomorrow against Brattleboro. That's big weekend of baseball coming up. They have Woodstock on Tuesday, and then they travel to Fairhaven on Thursday. And, again, trying to go an awful lot with the breaking ball here in the last 2 innings. And I've always not critiqued, just thought out loud. He's so big and so physically intimidating, and he's got a fastball that's just dominating. I don't understand why he doesn't throw that more and then just sprinkle in the breaking balls. He's got a full count right now with nobody down and a runner at first. Chester looking to get right back in the ballgame, down only 2 runs in the 5th. And he'll do it. He'll walk him. That'll push the runner to second. So Hoser on. That becomes the 5th walk of the ball game. And probably if you could choose a hitter who always comes through in the clutch, at least makes contact all the time, Dave O'Neill would be that guy for Chester. And here he is with first and second, nobody down, and a lot of options of what you can do with O'Neill. Of course, his dad, the head coach at Black River, head baseball coach, I think 20 years there. Jim doesn't look old enough. I think he's been there 20 years. He must have started when he was about 7. And I have to be careful what I say now because we go on the web. We're everywhere. You can pick us up everywhere now. So, oh, the most teasing thing, the ice cream cart's coming by. I can hear the whistle and the bell. And they'll be off the fist and foul. Now, during the weekend, when Essex was here, it was about 95 degrees. And the Ding Dong ice cream cart parked right by the gate. And everybody in the bleachers went and got ice cream, and nobody asked me if I wanted anything. And I just don't know why I ever did to offend him to that. 1-1 the count. 2 on, nobody down. Chester with the making of a big inning here, and right where they want to be in the order. That's off the catcher's glove, and everybody's going to move up to second and third. And probably strategy changes now. Second and third, nobody down. O'Neill, then Smith. O'Neill at the plate right now, and then Zach Smith up. And Equistapace, and a little bit of a pickle right now here in the 5th. That's going to be up the middle, base hit, at least one run, and they're going to hold Hoser as Dorian with a very strong arm will get the ball into the cutoff position. Oh, that's Bloomer, and we're going to have a 2-1 ball game with the tying run down at second. Go ahead run at first. O'Neill with the RBI. So that hit batter comes back to get a Quistapace. So Quistapace hit the leadoff batter. He comes around to score. He walked the next batter. He's at third base right now. Zach Smith up first and third, nobody out. And of course, O'Neill, perfect candidate to send on the steal from first to second, see if they can draw the throw down. Worst case scenario, they throw him out. And you have one out runner at third. And he's off, first pitch going, and that's going to be to the backstop, and he'll hold the runner up at third. Yeah, they've got the making of a big inning here. So second and third on the second wild pitch of the inning. So Quistapace with a hit batter, a walk, and a couple wild pitches. And Zach Smith, the opportunity to give Chester the lead. We're at 2-1 right now. Rutland with the lead top of the fifth, scheduled for 9. Chester losing to Rutland down in Chester, first game of the year, 17-8. All right there. Pops the fastball in there for the strike. Yeah, I just think he's thrown way too many breaking balls the last 2 innings, and it's one thing too to have base runners on and come up short with those curveballs. You see what happens as far as the ball getting past the catcher. That is going to be playable. Rodolfi will come in, make the grab, get his momentum going forward. There's the throw coming home and up the line and gets past Oliver, and we'll have a tie ball game on that sacrifice fly as Hoser comes in to score. I'm looking for the other base runner. Yeah, he did go to third base. O'Neill ends up at third. I tell you, that really wasn't that bad a throw. It was up the line a little bit, but 2-2 now in the fifth. And again, Rutland with a lot more to lose here if they were to drop this ball game on their home field. Ian Rebben up with one out and the go-ahead run down at third base. That was a good stop by T.J. Oliver as he slid out to his right, made his body big and knocked the ball down, and again starting him off with a breaking ball. He's had a lot of problems controlling the breaking ball today. He's had 3 wild pitches this inning on short breaking balls, and he just doesn't seem to get... This is where the catcher's got to take control. He's calling the game back there. You just keep putting down that number 1 until you get the point across. That's what you want him to throw. Like that right there. Like I said, Zach, 6'5", over 200 pounds, big scary looking guy in the mound, and I just don't understand why he doesn't rear back and fire that more often like that. Of course, it's easy for me to pitch from behind the camera up here too. No, will he get the appeal? They're going to look down to second base. There's the appeal, and they'll say no. So Ian Rebben will hold up and make it a 2-1 count now. 2-2 the score. Rutland with that 2-0 lead. It's evaporated here in the fifth. In a game against a team who comes in at 3-7, Rutland on their home field. In a game that they should have control of right now. They're on the verge of giving up the lead. Of course, to Chester's credit, they've had good pitching today and some timely defense, and strike called there. So full count now at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, very humid day, very hot day. And he'll get him on a high fastball. And it becomes the 4th strikeout of the ball game. Couldn't come at a better time. Comes as the 2nd out of the inning. And now T.J. Slade up. Yeah, Slade walked in the 2nd, got picked off, and then he doubled in the 4th. And Oliver able to close up the 5-hole. And that runner at third base is O'Neill. He's got good speed, and Slade with a 1-0 count. Oh man, I don't... If anything, I guess it had to be a little bit high because it looked like he might cut out the corner with it, but I'll go 2 balls, no strikes. The 6th batter to come to the plate here. This whole inning started off with the leadoff batter getting hit by a pitch. And then the next batter walked. And then that set up O'Neill's 2 RBI single. 4 strikeouts, 5 walks, 4 hits, and a hit batter so far for big Zach Equistapace out there. Man, again on a very, very close pitch. It'll be called a ball. So it now becomes walk number 6. And to bring up Colton Howard. He is walked and then he grounded out to the pitcher, who was balled down the first baseline. Equistapace picked up, tagged him out, and Coach Sorelli going to come out and talk to Zach Equistapace. The meeting is over. The pitch on the way. Will not get the call. A little bit below the knee. And again, they're at the 6, 7, 8, 9 spot in the order right now. Slade with runners at first and second. And again, good stop by Oliver on a pitch in the dirt. And now I'll go to a 2-ball, no strike count. 2-2 the score. We're in the top of the 5th. We're scheduled for 9, and we're looking more and more like we will go at least 9. Rutland's been involved in a couple extra inning games already this season. And that, call a strike. On a very flexible strike zone today. Runner off and going, and foul ball. They'll have to send the runner back to first base, as that was again a good jump over there by Slade, and then Howard fouled it off, and Equistapace has come back to make it a 2-2 count now. Yeah, Cook is the on deck batter. Chris Cook is sitting on deck. And he'll get it. That's the 3rd out on strikeout number 5. But Chester able to come back and tie it up at 2 as we go into the bottom of the 5th from St. Peter's Field. And so Rubin, he's got his teammates got them all back to even here. We'll be looking at Chad Ryan, Aaron Bloomer, and Jeff Bloomer due up. Chad Ryan struck out in the 1st and he walked in the 3rd. I'll tell you what, that had some bend on it. He fooled the batter. You can see Ryan lean back on it. And again, it's been a flip of the coin strike zone today. That's no doubt about it. That's a strike. Goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. And again, Rutland scoring their 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Chester coming back in the top of the 5th to tie it. They left another runner in scoring position at the 3rd base position. That's going to be O'Neill down low with the scoop to throw, and got him. So the very speedy Chad Ryan will ground out 6-3. Now Aaron Bloomer up. Yeah, he has grounded out to the 3rd baseman, and then he hit the ball to Zach Smith in center field, who misplayed the ball and eventually came around to score. And so Rubin hasn't thrown a lot of pitches today as far as being drastically high in a pitch count. Still throwing very strong here. Again, scheduled for 9. We're in the 5th. Got a tie ball game and a very, very big must-win for Rutland this ball game. Right now they're sitting at number 3 spot. That's a foul ball. That goes ripping down the 3rd baseline, foul. Yeah, Rutland with a doubleheader still with Brattleboro, a single game with top-seeded Fairhaven. Woodstock sandwiched between all that. They have a doubleheader with Windsor on the regular season's final weekend, and then they close out the season with a 9-inning game against Bells Falls, who's right there in the playoff hunt. So some tough games coming up, and like I said, very short season to begin with, and every game must win right now. 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 3 hits allowed so far by Ian Rubin. Number 12 is back to you for Chester Post 67. Oh, I was getting the lineups today, and when I walked back through, all I heard is, "Oh, it's a warm one. It's a warm one." Yes, it's summer in Vermont. It's always hot and humid. They talk about the southern states. I mean, I visited southern states. I never lived there, but it can't be any more hot, any more humid than it is right here. And that's going to go under the glove at 3rd base, and it'll allow the base runner to be on. So Bloomer able to rip it down the 3rd baseline past Chris Cook's glove. So 1 out. Rutland looking to reclaim the lead. Jeff Bloomer up now. He's singled and scored back in the 3rd. And the rain has came. Oh, they said showers later. Late in the evening. Or early evening, late in the afternoon. But now the sun coming out also, so hopefully this will be a brief... Oh, I heard thunder. Yeah, I hear thunder, and I'm waiting for the umpires. They have to see lightning, and actually the coaching staff are very, very, very good about spotting lightning and calling it out. So, whoa, way below the knee call a strike for an 0-2 count. 2-2 game, and the rain coming down now on a Saturday afternoon game at St. Peter's Field. Went back to the curveball, and he'll pull it through the hole at short, and that'll be back-to-back hits. And the Bloomer boys, again, continue to impress this Legion season. As Jeff with another hit, Aaron will go to second. And TJ Oliver up. He drove in 2 runs with a double in the third. You know, in the summer, I can smell the rain. Not to sound romantic and everything, but I can smell the rain now. Still just a light sprinkle coming right now. That's going to be another base hit. 3 consecutive base hits, and the run coming around is going to come in, and Bloomer is going to be there with the go-ahead run to play down at second base. You can see that Jeff Bloomer on the trail play was able to scramble back, and that's going to be a 3rd RBI for TJ Oliver as he drives an Aaron Bloomer. Jeff Bloomer goes to second. Mike Sorelli up, and all 3 runs for post 31 of Rutland have been driven in by TJ Oliver. Like I said, a young man who plays high school ball for Burton Academy, and he has become one of the top dogs. Huge contributor and a leader here on his post 31 team here in his second season. And he's a youngster. He's going to be around for a little bit longer. He's just a good baseball player. That breaking ball didn't break for Rebin. So with 1 out, it's now 3-2 Rutland in the bottom of the 5th. Sorelli has struck out and flied out to O'Neill at short. Oh, great pitch. Ian Rebin just tied him up on the inside corner. Yeah, and the rain has stopped now. And again, the sun came right in behind it. And that little rumble of thunder stopped. Well, that's going to do some damage. That's going to do some damage. Yeah, they're going to send in another run. Bloomer coming home, and he is going to be safe. You see the catcher came up the line to shorten the throw, and Bloomer able to go by him. The ball was dropped, and that'll be the 4th run of the ball game for Rutland as Jeff Bloomer comes in to score. Oliver goes to 3rd, and Sorelli on a throw home will end up at second base, and he has an RBI now. Zach Aquistapes has walked and flied out to right field. Dodger Sorelli was one of the hotter hitters coming into this ball game, and right there he continues that torrid streak he's on with yet another RBI. And 4-2 with 1 out. Runners at second and third in the makings of a big inning as Aquistapes, Rodolfi, and Merritt slotted in here for Rutland. There's a strike call from Rebin. Now, I'm not sure on the availability of pitchers for post 67. I know O'Neill pitches. Of course, I don't give up on Rebin yet either. And Aquistapes able to just pick that big old back leg up out of the way and keep from getting hit. Now, hitters want to hit. They don't want to be walked or hit by a pitch put on base. They want to swing the bat. Aquistapes right now looking to aid his cause as the pitcher and stretch the lead out a little bit longer. And great pitch by Rebin. It's got cut action on it, like a cut action fastball. But he might throw the slider, because if you throw a slider, you get that same action. Good job behind the plate by Dylan Davis on a pitch that was low. He was able to short hop it and keep everybody on the bases where they stand at second and third. Nobody's able to come in and score. 2-2 the count. 4-2 the score. Rutland has gave up the lead in the top half of this inning. Got it back here in the bottom half, and that's going to be the backstop. And nope, not far enough away to allow the runners to move up, and that will also become ball 3. So we'll have a full count, as we have had 4 singles in a row by Rutland. And Ian Rebin looking to rev it up. We'll step back off the rubber now. Nah, I can hear that thunder again. Hate to say it. Oh, you want everybody to be safe, absolutely. And 5th, 9th, 6th, yep. Hopefully it won't get a break any action. It won't affect you anyway, some tape delayed, and I just fade down on it. Fouled back. Quistapace doing a nice job with 2 strikes on him here. Like I said, Quistapace, Rodolfi, and Merritt. With 1 out and a 4-2 score now for the Post 31 squad out there in their red, white, and blue uniforms, taking on Chester Post 67 in the dark blue tops, gray bottoms. Ian Rebin, the starting pitcher, still out there going to work in the 5th. And he will issue the walk. So 4 straight base hits and then the walk, and that'll bring up Rodolfi. He's walked and singled, Rodolfi has. You see the general manager, Ron Fairbanks, pulling double duty today. He's also the bat boy as he ran out and picked up that baseball bat. So again, Rutland with the makings of a big inning here, looking to bust this thing open. And that just missed. If anything, it was high, more than inside for a ball. So a brief shower in the 5th. Rutland with a shower of hits. And I believe that's going to be playable. He's going to catch, and they're going to release the runner, and they're going to throw through. Yep. And they're going to move up the runners. Move up. That's just great base running. On the throw home, they threw through the cutoff. TJ Oliver scored. Runners moved up to 2nd and 3rd. And it becomes an RBI for Rodolfi, and Merritt will get to the plate now. So Quistapace goes to 2nd base, and Sorelli to 3rd. There's 2 out now, 5-2 now, Rutland. And Matt Merritt, who has flied out to center field and reached on a fielder's choice. Boy, Rebin would love not to get around to the top of the order. That's who's sitting on deck right now, Rob Dorian. He'd like to get this thing done with right here, get to the dugout and let his team start offensively catching up. That's on the infield, and Putnam says he's got it. He does. That's the inning, but Rutland with the 5-2 lead going into the 6th. Chris Cook's going to be looking at a new pitcher out there, Matt Merritt, on the mound. First time I remember Matt pitching this season. And the new catcher is Aaron Bloomer. Zach Quistapace has gone to 1st base. TJ Oliver has gone to 2nd. Ryan still remains at shortstop. Sorelli's at 3rd. Sereno, Dorian, and Rodolfi still the outfield. So Quistapace will last 5 innings. He'll leave with a 5-2 lead. We're in the 6th, scheduled for 9, and Matt Merritt will get a foul ball swing there for strike 2. Yeah, he's looking at Cook, Davis, and top of the order, Putnam up. No, I didn't see this move coming. That's off the fist. That's playable, and that's going to be Merritt with the catch in fair territory for out number 1. So if you had any butterflies about getting out on the mound, they should be over now. If you had any butterflies about pitching, it should have been because he was excited to pitch. So Dylan Davis up, and that will be the number 9 spot. Then top of the order, Kirby Putnam coming up. Davis has flied out to center and flied out to left. But this is his first look at Matt Merritt, who will start him off with a breaking ball. Merritt reminds me of John Durgan over at Black River, as far as has to be really crafty on the mound. Oh, very quickly, an 0-2 count to Davis, the catcher. Yeah, and that's a good call right there. It was a ball. And he went around the plate, didn't nick the corner, and whole different looking Post 31 squad right now defensively out there. And he will get the strikeout. So very quickly, Matt Merritt wasting no time. He'll register his first strikeout of the ball game, first or second out of the inning, and Kirby Putnam up. He has grounded out to Matt Merritt when Matt Merritt was a 2nd baseman. He struck out in the 3rd, and he was hit by a pitch and eventually came around to score in the 5th. So Merritt looking for a 1-2-3 first inning of work in relief of a Quistapace. And he's recorded both outs. He caught the pop-up, and he struck out the batter, and that'll be high. Got the plate, but high for a ball. Yeah, if Putnam can get on base here, Ian Hoser is the on-deck batter for post 67. Good action on that ball right there. Nice movement on that. He'll swing over the top and have a 1-1 count. Tell you what, Matt Merritt's got a curveball working today, something ferociously out there. Wow. He's got a 1-2 count, 1 strikeout already in the book, 2 down in the inning, looking to get out of this. And he hit him. Yeah. That's the second time now, 2 innings in a row, 2 at-bats in a row that Putnam was hit by a pitch. Now Hoser up. He's walked, he's grounded out the first, and he's walked and scored in the fifth. So he's walked twice, scored a run, and grounded out. And they are going to have a Quistapes who came in defensively to play first, hold the runner on over at first base. TJ Oliver, like I said, very versatile. He's now the second baseman. He started the game at the catcher's position. He can pitch, he can play the outfield. I am sure TJ can probably play any position on that field. And I'm sure he could probably come up and announce the game and do a much better job than me also. I have no doubt about his talent level. Throw down a first, runner back safe. See if Quistapes coming in off the bag, make the grab, and we'll stay now with a 2-0 count. 5-2 Rutland in the top of the 6 over Chester post 67 Rutland. Trying to solidify their playoff position here. He'll be called safe on the sweep tag from a Quistapes. Still got some rumbling of thunder off to the north side of the field. Right overhead though, it's clear. Sun's out. That'll be a wild pitch, and that will let the runner take his time, get down to second base. And again, all this taking place with 2 down. Seems like most of the damage by both teams has taken place with 2 outs. Again, every Saturday at 4 o'clock, Tom Leipold, the program director at Channel 15, starts games of the week, and boy, Matt Merritt tattoos him in on the rib cage, so he'll hit back-to-back batters now with pitches, and he had a pop-out, strikeout, then a hit batter, and that'll bring up Dave O'Neill, who's got a couple RBIs. And what Merritt's got to do right now is realize out number 3 is at the plate and a very dangerous batter, and just I guess it's not good to say, but forget about the base runners right now with 2 down. You are in control of the 3rd out. There's a strike. Well, he's not afraid to pitch inside. We saw him hit a right-handed batter and then a left-handed batter, so he'll come inside. That's Hoser over at first, and that pitch too far outside will make it a 1-1 count on the ball. And so Merritt pitching from the stretch. He'll fake the throw to. Yeah, they want a balk called in. I got to understand, Quistapes was not holding the runner on the bag, and he came off the rubber, so he should be cool. Yep. But he seemed trying to locate the ball, and Bloomer will dig it out the last second. Yeah, everything was good there. I don't understand the wanting the balk call. Well, you got to lobby for your team, I guess, so. The 5th batter faced here in his first inning of work. Oh, and that's going to be cranked foul. Yeah, that goes over Coach's corner. Foul ball, and O'Neill. Don't let his size fool you. It's not how big you are or how hard you swing the bat. It's bat speed. Fast hands for that strike zone. And how much power that the pitcher generates for you if he's throwing a fastball or not. But O'Neill can leave the yard. Don't let him fool you. That's going to be stabbed. Merritt looking for the 3rd out. Will lob it to first, and he'll get out of the jam. Nice inning and relief there by Merritt. And we'll still stay 5-2 Rutland going into the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch from the new pitcher, Zach Smith, is a strike. He's looking at the top of the order. Rob Dorian, Chad Ryan, Aaron Bloomer, and Jeff Bloomer possibly due up here. As we made it to the bottom of the 6th in a 5-2 game, and each starting pitcher went 5 innings. That's going to be strike 2 called. Oh yeah, and the thunder rumbling around pretty good, but way in the background in the north, I haven't seen any lightning yet. And I don't want to see any lightning either. First of all, I don't like thunder showers, and I don't like the delay in the game. I like doing the games and stuff. I just don't like the break in the middle for, you know, a half hour, an hour, however long it goes. Oh my goodness, just missed. And again, 2 strikes. I just find that awful hard to take a pitch like that, and each team has done it with 2 strikes. They didn't miss by much. And Zach Smith will go back to the breaking ball and a little chin music there, and it'll go to a full count. So the last guy you want to walk right now is Robbie Dorian at the top of the order. Fouled off for a strike. No, because then you get into Chad Ryan. Both bloomers coming up in the 3 and 4 spot have hit the ball well today. They have accounted for 4 of the runs. Being on base to come in on TJ Oliver, who's driven in 3 runs. That's off the fist and picked up at third to throw to first, and he got him. Yeah, did a nice job of keeping his toe down on the bag and getting the out. So now Chad Ryan up. Yeah, Ryan struck out, walked, and grounded out the shortstop. Again, he bats in that number 2 spot. And he's done a good job. He hasn't had a lot of work at short today, but that pitch low for a ball. Yeah, doubleheader at Brattleboro coming up at a later date on Channel 15. Woodstock coming up at a later date on Channel 15. Possibly the Fairhaven game in Fairhaven or Castleton. Depends which field they use. That's going to be, what happened here, he tried to play it on the forehand side instead of backhanding it. He's not hesitating. He's heading into second base, and he's going to be in safe. So Chad Ryan will come in with a stand-up double. And I'll bring up Aaron Bloomer, who's had a single and scored twice today. Yeah, he's also now playing the catcher's position. And so Rutland with 1 out, 1 on, 3-run lead and foul ball strike. Yeah, you start looking at the middle. You look at the Aaron Bloomer, Jeff Bloomer, TJ Oliver, Mike Sorelli. That's what we're looking at right now. The middle of the pack. They've all made good contact and had either scored runs or driven in runs. So good position right now for Rutland in the order, in the situation. And I mean situation with a runner in scoring position out there. And Zach Smith will miss high and we'll go to a 1-1 count. And I see the sun back out. Again, it was 88 degrees at the start of the ball game. When the sun comes out, it must seriously go to 92, 93. And he hit him squarely in the back. That was a fastball that just nailed him. So getting a lot of hit by pitches now all of a sudden racked up in the scorebook. Yeah, Jeff Bloomer 2 for 3 today. 2 singles and grounded out to Dave O'Neill at short. So they took Rebin out, and like I said, I don't think he was much over 70, 75 pitches thrown. He hadn't really thrown an enormous amount of pitches. But they'll bring Zach Smith in, and boy, that's a good pitch right there by Smith. Yeah, he got that one by him. So Jeff Bloomer DHing for Mike Serino. And couldn't get him chased. He split the plate, but it was high around the letters, and he just couldn't get him to chase that one and go after it. Well, even it out now, 1-1. And boy, I tell you, they're off and going on a double steal, and the throw got him. I didn't think they had a chance. Nice job of going up and getting the ball, pulling it down, and making the throw. Bloomer on a trail into that will get the steal at second. They didn't make an attempt on him. But they will throw Chad Ryan out for the second out now. I like the call, sending him on that. I mean, he had a big lead. It was a tough pitch for the catcher to handle, having to go up and grab it. But he'll get him. And a good job on the tag, too, down there. Being able to hold on to the ball after the contact was made. I think that's Dylan Davis. Yeah, number 13 now. Davis at third base now. And believe me, Chester right there at 5-2, right in the ball game. He's got it. He had to double check. He'll lob it over and get it. That's the inning. They'll strand a runner, and we'll stay at 5-2 Rutland going into the 7th. So Mike Triller has gone in to play second base for Rutland, now wearing number 15. TJ Oliver, who was second last inning, he's been pushed over to first base. So Oliver started the game at the catcher spot, played second, now at first base. Matt Merritt on the mound, second inning of work, and everything else looks the same out there defensively for Rutland, which would mean that Sereno, Dorian, and Rodolfi the outfield. Aaron Bloomer the catcher. That's going to be a ball. Chad Ryan the shortstop, and that is Mike Sorelli over there at third base. So Triller at second, Oliver at first, the only switch, and on a 1-1 count. Tell you, Matt Merritt's had some good-looking curveballs today out there. Got in a little bit of trouble hitting a couple batters last inning, but he's got a strikeout, 2 hit batters, couple of groundouts. We're in the 7th, scheduled for 9. We've had a very brief rain shower. We got the sun out now, and just missed. And I'll tell you what, the batter, Zach Smith, watch that all the way in for a ball. 2-2 the count. That's going to be hit. Foul. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. We were tied at 2. Rutland had a 2-0 lead at the end of 3 innings. We had a scoreless 4th by both sides. Then Chester came up with 2 runs in the top of the 5th to tie it at 2. And Rutland with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th to take the 5-2 lead. Both teams held scoreless in the 6th. And that will be given a chase, but it'll be foul. See Sereno over there, number 18, watching it. They'll give a new ball back to Matt Merritt. He started the game at second base, came in to pitch, and cross our fingers. So far, he's done good. Or well, whatever the correct grammar is. He's either done good or done well. That's going to be to Chad Ryan, deep in the hole, sets up, makes the throw, and what a scoop by TJ Oliver. I tell you, TJ just impresses me more and more and more with every inning of every game. Whether it's his poise on the mound, his willingness to go behind the plate and make the catch, catcher's position, or come in, play first like that effectively, play second effectively. I'm becoming a big TJ Oliver fan. Great pitch. That's Rebin up there. He was a starting pitcher, and he's up for the 4th time today. And again, that pitch started actually out. The release point was behind him, but it broke so sharp, it ended up catching the center of the plate. Now, Dorian says he's got it, and I believe Rob does. He usually catches everything hit to him, and he does right there for the 2nd out. So 2 down now. This is where Matt Merritt got in trouble last time. He retired the first 2 batters he faced, then hit batters back to back. TJ Slade up. Yeah, he's walked twice and doubled. He's also been picked off base today by Aquistapace on that fake to third, spin around throw to first move. Good pitch, strike. So Merritt looking for a 1-2-3 defensive inning here in the 7th. He'll wind it up and just jump back from becoming hit batter number 3. Right, great play at first, scooping that ball out on that throw. Of course, Ryan threw that from almost the edge of the outfield grass. And he tried to hold back on that pitch right there on the inside corner, and he just fouled it off, and it'll be 1-2 the count. Again, doubleheader tomorrow for Rutland, so that's more baseball action for you from St. Peter's Field. Post 31 American Legion baseball action on PEGTV. Yep, and you could call that one right there. You don't need me to make the call. 2-2 the count. Had a lot of good baseball on this year, including the Proctor Little League All-Star Championship game between Woodstock and Polteny. And congratulations to Woodstock for the victory in that game. Got him, and that's the inning. He'll have his 2nd strikeout. Got him looking. All right, so we're in the bottom of the 7th, and all you missed was a foul ball. TJ Oliver, Mike Sorelli, Zach Aquistapace do up against Zach Smith. Number 6 on relief of Ian Rebin. Big swing and a miss right there for a strike. Now, Oliver today, he's had 3 RBIs. He had a double that drove in 2 runs, and then he had a single that drove in a run. Plus, he's come around to score himself, so he's been involved in 4 of Rutland's 5 runs. He's made some beautiful defensive plays. And that's going to be down to short. O'Neill, he's very automatic. He's got the out. 6-3 ground out. O'Neill flashing the leather. That's made him famous down in the Black River area. Now Mike Sorelli up. He had an RBI his last time up. He's 1 for 3. He's struck out, flied out, and singled. And again, Rutland coming in at 7-3. 7 wins, 3 losses. Chester coming in at 3-7. That's a league record. And Rutland just 1 game behind. Actually, you know, yeah, it's a full game. They're a game behind Brattleboro, a team that they'll play 2 games against tomorrow, weather permitting. But they have not, in my opinion, overlooked today's contest at all. Chester coming in, one of those teams, you look at some of the positions, you go, geez, you know, O'Neill, good player, Rebin, good player, and you start around looking, you say, how the heck are they 3-7? 5-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Like I said, unless we're mercy ruled, we'll go 9, or unless we get stopped for weather, rain or thunder, lightning, or more. Well, that's got a chance to be a double. Now he's going to get to the gap. Yeah, he kind of took a funny angle to the ball, and it's going to be held to a single, but it's a base hit for Sorelli. He's now 2 for 2 this ball game. And like I said, he came into the ball game quite a hitting streak already. And Aquista pace up. He walked twice and flied out to right field. Oh, they're going to Triller up. So his first at bat will be Mike Triller. And a strike called. Triller came on defensively the last inning to play second base, and now he's going to hit in Aquista Pace's spot. And they are holding the runner on Sorelli. He'll be held on defensively over at first base. And of course, there's a left-handed batter up that creates a bigger hold. Hit the ball through over there. And the sun right now is out, but it's a little more muted by the clouds and the haze, so it's not that big a factor to the left fielder like it is usually here at St. Peter's Field in the afternoon. Beautiful field, but very notorious sun field for the left fielder. Now he'll get the outside corner by Zach Smith. And he'll be looking at a 1-2 count. Again, every Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Tom Leipold, the program director, starts playing the sports of the week. All the games of the week handed in that week. And that's going to be out of play. Well, out of play over on the River Street area. Yeah, and what he does is Tom Leipold's an icon in the area, not only for his work at PEGTV, but also for he's a professional comedian. No joking, he really is. But he'll load up the server with whatever games, whoever handed them in, and he'll play them all Saturday night, and Sunday morning. And I'll tell you what, that was a base hit, and they're going to send the runner around third. Sorelli never broke stride, and they're going to send him. They're in problem handling the ball. No. You can see him get the brakes put on, and he'll go back. Boy, his dad was windmilling him around at third base, and he just put the brakes on all of a sudden, and tell you what, good traction in those cleats as he came to a dead stop and got back. So Triller with a good-looking base hit. Now Rodolfi up. He had an RBI and a sacrifice flies last time up. Prior to that, he had singled and walked. So Joe, being Joe, very productive. First and third, and the pitch. Right at the knee, call a strike. Good pitch. We're in the 7th. A 3-run lead for Rutland, 5-2. 1 down, 2 on. And we're at the number 8 man in the order. Zach Smith will lose that one high. Slipped out of his hand, went high on the fastball. Yeah, so, you know, that middle of the order, like I said, from Bloomer to Oliver, well, to Sorelli, right? That whole clump in the middle, they've hit the ball very well today. Now Triller, you can put him in the mix also. Runner goes, they're going to throw the pitch called the ball, and he's going to be safe. And there goes the run, scoring. Yeah, they delayed the second half of that steal, and it worked out beautifully. Sorelli will score. And Triller will be safe down at second base. Puts himself in scoring position, makes it 6-2 Rutland. So Rodolfi. Getting Rutland with that 4-run lead, and only 1 down. They could keep on piling on here. Oh, that's a shot by Rodolfi. Looks like Hoser's got a speed on it though in center field. It's very deep in center field, deep enough to send a runner, and he's going to tag up and he's going to easily get over to the third base. As Triller, good piece of running watching that third base coach Tony Sorelli down there, and he'll move up to third on a very deep fly ball by Rodolphe. Now Matt Merritt up. He's been on base once today on the fielder's choice. Actually hit into a force out. He hasn't been on base at all. He flied out to center and flied out to second, and then hit into a force out. Tell you what, he got a piece of that, and now the sun has come out, and that's going to be caught. Oh, you can see over by the 310 marker. They'll get the third out. Rutland will pick up a run. We'll go to the 8th. 6-2 Rutland. Strike one. Matt Merritt's done a very good job here on his starting the third inning of relief. Okay, so got a new tape in there. Dave O'Neill's at the plate, one on. He's looking to small ball him over. Actually, he's not looking. He's bunting for a base hit. Is what he did right there because they're playing back at the corners, and you want to just get people on base any way you can. So Hoser walked O'Neill up. He's done a lot of damage today. He's got an RBI today. Been on base a couple times, and again, he's a clutch player. This is where he wants to be. Throw to first and runner back safe. What they want to do is white balance. There we go. You know how important it is to do that. Most people don't. Not enough people do that with the cameras. And that could be playable. Rodolphe with a long run. Rodolphe with a long run. Rodolphe coming in. Oh, he had it and dropped it. He's going to throw to second and got him on the force out. So Rodolphe, great hustle to come in and almost make a spectacular catch. And now with one out, one on, they'll bring up Zach Smith. And yeah, the sun is out, but there's just like thunder everywhere around the field. And also, just like I said, just like a pitch black ring and haze all around. So I know, everybody's watching for lightning for safety, but they want to get this thing done. There's 2 outs away from finishing it. Could be a double play. There's one. There's two, and that's the ball game. They'll end it in style with a double play. So Zach Aquistapes will get the win. Matt Merritt did a nice job on relief. Like I said, Bloomer, Oliver, Sorelli, all pretty much offensive punch in there, but a great team defensive effort. Congratulations to Post 31. A good effort by Post 67. Hope you enjoyed this American Legion baseball action. Get out there, catch a game live, and always support Munger Vision.